Hello, everyone. This is Phil Alexander with Milagro Del Mar, and I want to welcome you all to our webinar this evening, in which we're going to be talking about the next Costa Rica. No, because Nicaragua offers much, much more. But anyway, I'm here with my co-host, the CEO and managing partner of Milagro Del Mar, Roger Keeling. And tonight we're going to talk about a lot of things having to do with Nicaragua. We're going to talk about Milagro Del Mar. Roger has a great story to tell you about how he came to live in Nicaragua. But first, a couple of little housekeeping issues. If you look on your control panel at the right-hand side of your screen, you're going to see a little hand symbol. And if you click on that, that's going to be interesting because it'll make things a little more interactive. So just to see if everybody can check that out, why don't you go ahead and click on that? I see some hands popping up. There's another few, and let's see. Okay. Just about everybody found it. And if you click on it again, of course, it will turn it off. And that way, first of all, let's just start before we go any further, and get a feeling for from all of you on the call. How many of you have actually been to Nicaragua before, either once or multiple times? Just click on your hand symbol there. Wow, a very Nika-friendly crowd. Okay. A good number of you. That's terrific. But for those of you that haven't, hopefully you'll be able to pick up some information. Roger, are you there?
I am, Phil. Thanks for hosting tonight, and welcome to everyone.
That's terrific. And Roger, we're going to get right into things, but let's talk for a quick minute, if we may, about how convenient Nicaragua is to get to. We of course have a map here. What are the gateways that people can utilize to reach Nicaragua?
Well, typically we see most people coming through either Miami, Atlanta, or Houston. At various times of the year, there are flights out of Los Angeles, and we do have flights into Managua out of Mexico City, San Salvador. And recently we have picked up a flight coming from Europe that actually passes through Havana, Cuba, and ends up here in Managua as well.
I don't expect too many Americans are going to be on that flight connection, but certainly it is a nice direct connection. I think there's also a code share between an Italian airline in a nonstop, if I'm not mistaken. But in any event, the bottom line is Nicaragua is very, very easy to get to. But what about this recent discussion from Mario Salinas, who's the Minister of Tourism for Nicaragua, that everybody used to call Nicaragua the next Costa Rica, but he's saying that's not so. That's not so. What do you think about that, Roger?
Well, I think for many years people looked at Nicaragua and said, well, it's in close proximity to Costa Rica. It's just a little bit north of Costa Rica and a little bit closer to the United States, actually. And many people looked at it and said, hey, it has all the same attributes that Costa Rica has. It has beautiful beaches and volcanoes and mountains and gorgeous weather and easy access to many places around the world. And it was just easy to say at that point in time that, hey, Nicaragua is the next Costa Rica. But, taking it from someone who has visited both places and seriously thought about buying property in Costa Rica, I think personally I've learned that Nicaragua has a lot more to offer, and I think most people who come here and visit realize the same thing.
It does have a very different feeling for sure, and I think there are a lot of us that feel similarly, Roger. That Nicaragua is the place to be, and its culture is so rich and deep, and the warmth of the people. It really is a very, very special place. In fact, it's considered by many to be Central America's premier emerging market. It is a safe, democratic country. It's had over 20 years of peaceful transference of power, which may to some sound like kind of a ridiculous statistic, but in point of fact, in the region and in Latin America, that's saying something. It is an active member of CAFTA and encourages foreign investment in Nicaragua. And the World Bank ranks it #1 in Central America for investor protection in 2011, and I believe they're headed for the same designation for 2012. It offers, and many countries in the region do not, but it offers freehold property with title insurance, and that's, a pretty critical thing that anybody interested in international real estate has to be looking at. Back in 2010, the visitors topped 1 million for the first time ever in Nicaragua's history, and in 2011, there was a 10% increase in tourism. And in fact, that increase has zipped up to closer to 15% in 2012. So that's pretty exciting stuff. Nicaragua is no longer the sleepy little country that no one's ever heard of. It's not only been heard of, but it's attracting a lot of interest. But economically speaking, because it didn't, through the downturn, although it was felt like it was the world over, didn't experience quite the same degree of downturn that many other more developed countries did. There are a number of reasons economically for that, but what we've seen certainly since then is 17% increase in foreign direct investment, a 30% increase in exports, and the gross domestic product has jumped up 4.5%. Again, pretty remarkable statistics. And then in 2011, that growth even accelerated. Part of the reason, who knows, was the exposure Nicaragua was getting for 2 seasons running. The television program Survivor was filmed in Nicaragua, pulling in 14 million viewers a week, which is pretty large. Travel Age West considers and ranks Nicaragua in the top 3 travel destinations for 2011. And Lonely Planet, which I think a lot of people embrace the opinions of, ranks Nicaragua in the top 5 of value destinations for 2011. And all of these increases in tourism and visitors and so on are easily and clearly projected to continue their upward surge. And something that's, I think, got to be important to any investor and anyone in either hospitality or real estate development is the shortage or deficit of hotel rooms that are projected for Nicaragua, expected to reach 5,000 hotel room deficit by 2015 due to this increase in tourism. And that's pretty remarkable. But, Roger, you came to this country in 2007. You didn't come alone. You weren't a single guy out looking for, adventure, excitement, or surfing. You came and moved lock, stock, and barrel from, by what I think any reasonable person would consider a pretty comfortable lifestyle in Atlanta, Georgia, with your wife and at the time 10-year-old daughter. What's up with that?
I guess you could say I just needed a change. No, it almost became a calling for us. I don't know any other way to put it. We, as I mentioned a few minutes ago, we visited Costa Rica on numerous occasions from 2000 until 2006 with friends, and loved what we saw there. And just by a series of unusual events, we made a decision to come check out Nicaragua before we invested in Costa Rica. And when we did, we fell in love with many of the things that Mario Salinas talked about when he said, Nicaragua is not the next Costa Rica. It's even better. And we found the exact same thing: the people, the warmth here, the unspoiled natural beauty. What brought us here was opportunity. We saw what we believed was a great opportunity, and it was a great opportunity at that point. We've been slowed down a little bit with the world economy, but that opportunity has never gone away. It may have slowed down a little bit, but we're seeing it really pick up again, and the opportunity is back.
Well, there's a lot to be excited about with Nicaragua. One of the things, obviously, is an absolutely remarkable cost of living. Do you consider, Roger, these prices to be reasonable, or are we just making things up here?
No, everything that you have posted there is real. I don't do much of the grocery shopping anymore, but I can tell you, the haircut price and the movie price and the dinner for two with some wine, all of that is 100% in line with what we see on a daily basis living here.
And I think another issue, or two issues actually, the last two items there, is the concept of medical care. Take a moment, if you would, Roger, and comment on the quality of medical care in Nicaragua. I think that's something of interest and possible concern to a number of people, but also the incredibly low cost of medical care in Nicaragua, and also of you call it what you will, staff, domestic help or assistance, whether it be a maid or a gardener or whatever. Is this real?
It is real, and I can tell you just a real quick note here. Just over 20 years ago, I was actually working as a healthcare executive, and the company that I was with was a growth company, and we had the opportunity to start acquiring hospitals across the United States, and my position as a CEO of a small hospital grew to a regional type of position where all of a sudden I was put in charge of construction of new facilities and renovation of facilities. And I give you all that background to say I'm not a doctor. I don't claim to be to have all the information about healthcare, but I did spend the first 15 years of my career running hospitals as a CFO and a CEO. And I can tell you what I have found here in Nicaragua after I made the transition from healthcare executive to development and construction executive. I still remember my healthcare days, and I can tell you what I see here when I go and get treated, or my daughter or my wife go get treated, is excellent quality healthcare. And our hospital here in Managua just last year was accredited by the Joint Commission on Accreditation of Healthcare Organizations. Top quality healthcare at a very reasonable cost, so reasonable that we are self-insured here. I'm not quite at Medicare age yet, but it's probably not too far down the road. But we are self-insured at this point in time, and I feel very comfortable being self-insured here, and I'm very comfortable with the quality of health care that we receive. And for the last item, the maid, the cook, $125 a month. Yes, that's right in the range. You get a cook, a gardener. If some people want a driver, you can have a driver in the same price range. So it becomes very easy to do nothing around the house here.
Well, and going back just for a second to the healthcare question or issue, one of our friends on the call chatted in, and for those of you that are unaware, in the lower right of your control panel, there is a chat window, so feel free to use that if you want to type in any questions, and if we can take care of them during the info session, we will. Otherwise, we'll address them at the end. But the one comment that our friend typed in is that there is something called Club Salud at what is many consider the top hospital in Managua, Vivian Pelas Hospital. that if you belong to this club, which is, kind of like an insurance group, if you will, many doctor visits are only $10.
That is absolutely correct. Yes,
And
I did fail to mention that those programs are available, and that for a very, very small monthly premium. I mean, and when I say small, it is minute in comparison to what any of us would have paid in North America. You did get some nice benefits and some nice discounts on the services.
Right. It's pretty special stuff. Well, okay. So bottom line is your family arrived. I still remark over that, and think about that. I don't even know if I could have done that 5 years ago. I think that was a pretty gutsy thing. But how are the Keelings doing?
We have never looked back, Phil. And for those of you on the line, we originally came here thinking that we would potentially split time. We wanted my daughter to have a bicultural experience, and at that point in time, even though I had sold most of the partnership of my company in Atlanta to another partner, I was still somewhat involved in that and felt like that I would continue to go back and forth to help out with that business. And I mean, we all know real estate in the United States went down a little bit, so the need for me to be in Atlanta was diminishing. And quite honestly, when I was back in Atlanta, I was wishing I was here, and when I was here, I wasn't wishing I was in Atlanta. And it became very apparent to me that this was the place that I needed to be. And my family has. I've been very fortunate. My family has not complained one bit. They have ingrained themselves in this culture and just love it here. And it has been a great experience for our family. And I honestly don't ever see us going back to the States on any type of a permanent basis. Maybe, I'm sure my daughter will probably go back to college there, but I don't see us going back for anything more than visits at this point.
Well,
we love the life here.
That's pretty cool stuff. It's there's a lot to love. As I go through here are a few images which are, of course, from Malago del Mar, and those who have been are fortunate enough to see this sort of thing on a regular basis. Can you comment just real quick on some of the realities of like the real estate law and foreign ownership, and we'll then get into some issues to do with retirees?
Well, for the most part, Phil, owning real property in Nicaragua is very similar, and not very different at all from owning real property in North America. As you've talked about, it's fee simple title. The process is slightly different here. I mean, most people in the States or in North America, we go to a closing table and we sign some papers and we pass checks and you walk away with title. The process can be a little bit slower here, but at the end of the day, you end up with the same title, the same type of title that you would have on property in the U.S. We have title insurance from First American Title available on the properties that we offer at Milagro del Mar. So and we have bilingual attorneys and bilingual advisors here that can walk anyone through the process and make them feel comfortable.
That's great stuff. And what about retirees? I mean, U.S. News and World Report last year ranked Nicaragua the #1 affordable international retirement haven, and AARP considers it in the top 5 international retirement destinations. I've heard it said that there's some of the best or most favorable laws for retirees in the region. Would you consider that true?
It is true. It's no secret that the Nicaraguan government has for years now been trying to attract foreign investment and tourists, as you've mentioned, and they have methodically put into place some great laws that do attract foreign investment and do attract retirees and tourists to the country. And For instance, I mean, the ability to bring your household goods in at, I mean, depending on how many household goods you bring, you can almost exempt out everything that you would want to decorate your home with, and not have to pay import duties on it.
Wow.
When you're living here, you can bring in a new car every 5 years and not pay import duties on that new car. There's a string of benefits that go with the program, and we'd be happy to get anyone any additional information on that program. But I can tell you, it, as you said to start the conversation, it is very aggressive and very beneficial to potential retirees or even investors. You don't necessarily have to be a full-blown retiree to take advantage of it. I and my family were able to take advantage of the law by being an investor as opposed to a retiree.
Well, it also seems that I mean, some of the concerns for many retirees is, access to quality medical care. Well, we can check that box off, and convenience in terms of reaching the destination, so the grandkids can come visit or whatever. Well, I guess we can check that box off, and now, making it a haven, if you will, that's beneficial and protects the rights of retirees and so on. It seems to cover all the bases.
It really does, and like I can't tell you how important the comment that you made a moment ago was about accessibility. 2 to 3 hour flight into Managua, which, as we all know in North America, unless you're just hopping from city to city on the east or the west coast, you're looking at 2 to 3 hours in an airplane going across the country or north to south. So it's a very simple trip here, and once you get here, the weather is fantastic. You've got the beauty of the low cost of living, good health care, great beaches to play on. If you surf, some of the best surfing in the world. The golf community is growing by leaps and bounds here. New courses popping up. Of course, in our development, we've got 9 holes open already, and we're moving that along. So when you get here, it's not only good weather and low cost of living. It's in some ways quite Americanized, if I can put it that way. A lot of English speakers here. A lot of the amenities that we all get used to in North America are right here at your fingertips too. Maybe not as many choices, but most of the amenities that we all love in North America are available right here as well.
Well, and there's a lot of other good information for those that are interested in doing a little bit of their own research. Here are 2 good sources we have found anyway. Pro Nicaragua, which is www.pronicaragua.org, and also Intour, which is the Nicaraguan Tourist Board. Little slightly longer URL there, but I'll leave both of those up there for a moment. Anyone that wants to write them down, and these both can be really good sources. Intour more from the sort of individual side, and Pro Nicaragua is a little more business oriented, but still both are very, very excellent resources. And then all of a sudden, back in 2007, you arrived, but it was a couple of years after that that Milagro del Mar was born. And I mean, we don't want to take undue amounts of time here, Roger, but maybe you can tell us a little bit about how Milagro del Mar was born, and it comprised a very defined space, and then how it became and when it became a much larger space.
And it has. We originally, back in 2006, 2007, when we started contemplating this move to Nicaragua, we began speaking with the master developer of this huge 2,500-acre property. It's just an hour outside of Managua. It's the closest resort that you can get to from the capital city here, from the airport. And we just we like the people, we like the idea, and we began talking about building some condos within this development. And that idea, through varying hurdles and varying changes in plans and rework of plans, has now grown into what you see in front of you. And this is the Milagro del Mar condo hotel, I guess is the best way to put it. It's condos and individual villas that are to be operated as a hotel here within the country. And you saw those stats a little bit earlier on the need for hotel rooms. That has become apparent to us over time, and we've kind of grown the project and molded the project to fit those needs.
Well, and yet all of a sudden, what started in, if you can see down here, number 11, if I'm not mistaken,
Yes.
center bottom of your screen, now in a sense encompasses a large portion of what you see here in the master plan. How did that happen?
Absolutely. Well, with Milagro del Mar, we just through varying business deals and opportunities and basically agreements to focus on this project and try to grow the project. We've had the opportunity not only to do that condo project at number 11 that you were talking about there, but we've had the opportunity to take the golf course and grow the golf course and improve the golf course. We have the opportunity to take some pieces of land within this master plan that you see and take those to the next level. Milagro Verde, which is our eco-friendly development within the community, has been a huge success so far. I mean, from the moment we had the opportunity to introduce that, we've had incredible interest for Milagro Verde. You see over to the right of that photo, there's some lots that are yellow. We are planning to develop phase 2 of the original residential section in that area, beginning hopefully around the end of next year. So it's the touch that we've been able to put on Milagro del Mar, the original condominium development, has just expanded over time to allow us to touch some of these other areas within the original master development. And you know, we're really excited about the chance to take that piece and improve it, grow it, enhance it, and present it to folks like all of you on the call tonight.
That's really, really cool stuff. And let me just get rid of, well, I'm having a little hard time getting rid of that highlighter. Hold on just a sec. There we go. And yet, here are some of the renderings of what you envision. And, you know, I mean, but what is going on current day? I mean, you spoke about the golf, speaking of which, and there's
nine. Oh, go ahead, I'm sorry.
And there's surfing on the property, a world-class surf break. There's also, you know, obviously there are stables and fishing, great surfing. Now that's a stock shot, isn't it?
No, that is actually the wave. I wouldn't recommend that just anybody jump out on that wave, but that wave is just down the beach from those condominiums that we were looking at just a moment ago. That is one of the top 100. In fact, I think it's ranked 63rd best wave in the world, and that is right there on our property.
Wow. Wow. Incredible stuff. And there's a restaurant on the property now?
Yes, I mean the property right now is essentially operating as a resort. It's there. Infrastructure is in, cable TV, high-speed internet, underground electric, underground sewer, underground stormwater management. You drive into the property today. The property is absolutely beautiful with streets and homes completed, homes under construction. There are condominiums on the property that are completed, that are managed by a group called La Vida Nica, and operating as a very successful little small condo hotel at this moment in time. This restaurant is there serving great food every day of the week, 3 meals a day. There's a bar on the property, surf shop. You know, it's all there. All the basics of a good, solid resort are there and operating, and you know, people are coming there every day already and enjoying and loving the property. We just we're inviting people to grow with us and expand.
That's fantastic, and this is probably one of my favorite daily scenes. If for no other reason than it's sort of like Key West in Mallory Square. You know, you gather around the pool, right as you saw there, where the surfer is, and watch the sunset. Have a beverage. It's a very special moment, very special time, and it's a daily event.
Well, what you're not telling them is you stole that photo from my Facebook page, and when I posted that, I made the comment, "Leaving the office," and I think it was sometime last winter when all my friends in North America were dealing with 35-degree weather and snow flurries. So
there you go. Hey, Roger, a quick question from one of the folks on the call. I mean, I know the answer, but I'll let you answer it. The question is there a Costco in the area, or let's just say in Nicaragua?
Not particularly Costco, but we have almost the exact same thing in a place called Price Mart, which is essentially, I believe, a spinoff of the Price Club that I think originated in Southern California many years ago. So it's basically the exact same thing as a Sam's or a Costco, and here it's called Price Mart, and it is if you haven't seen any of your gringo friends or your North American friends for a while, you can more than likely find them at Price Mart on Saturday morning.
There you go. Now, I mean, one of the cool things I think about Milagro del Mar, the project, and this space is this is not, you know, pixie dust. This is not just raw land. There are not only people coming to stay and visit and enjoy, there are people living there. Can you just touch on, you know, how many people, how many houses, how many people are living there, and so on?
Yes, you're absolutely right, and that's kind of what I was touching on a moment ago. That this place is already operating. It's successful. It's the crowds that are coming onto the property to enjoy the property are growing by the day. I'll tell you, I just left the property 2 hours ago, and we had a group of 128 people on the property today, enjoying the restaurant, enjoying the volleyball court, and riding horses and playing on the beach. People are utilizing this property every single day, and it is becoming a very popular spot. Now, a lot of those people are renters. They come out and enjoy the property through our rental and concierge company that I mentioned a minute ago, La Vida Nica. But we have, at this moment in time, depending on the time of the year, because we still do have snowbirders from North America who spend 3 or 6 months here during the year, but 30 plus homes already completed, occupied. We have 22 condos on the property already completed, and as I said, being operated as a condo hotel. There are several homes under construction at the moment. Many of the lots in the first phase of the residential area are already sold, but there are some lots still available there. There are a few resales available on the property. And, there you go right there. If you're talking about pixie dust, when you have homes that are already resales, I mean, that's obviously telling you that, people have come there, built a home, and for whatever reason are reselling. But we're in that cycle of people coming there, building something, and saying, okay, well, I've enjoyed it for a year or two, and now I might have a chance to make a little money on it. So they're
and the
it back. And in fact,
And the important
Yeah.
thing is, of course, there is infrastructure, for everything from water and power and fiber optic cable and sewerage and so on. Correct?
Absolutely. As I mentioned, I spend a majority of my time actually on the property. I work from the property with high-speed internet. I watch ESPN. I watch CNN and Fox News, and all of that is available to us. And it's pretty incredible when you can actually be sitting at the restaurant at the bar watching on the big screen TV above the bar the NCAA championship game Final Four and hear the ocean in the background because it's all right there.
That's pretty incredible. That's pretty incredible. Real quick, because I am anxious to get into some of the aspects having to do with real estate availability and so on, but a very important cornerstone of our group is the community commitment. Both Open Development Foundation and ABACA, the International Baseball Academy of Central America. Can you just take a quick, brief moment and touch on those for us?
Yeah, when going back to the story of when we came here, and part of the reason that we came here was opportunity, but we also felt a real calling to try to take the opportunities that we have been given and turn them back into the community. And I know I read the developer websites, and I know what people say out there, and everybody's always talking about giving back to the community and everything. And that's we're 100% behind that, and we're 100% committed to it ourselves. And we are already committed to the community. We are through the Hope and Development Foundation. We're already teaching within the schools of our community out there. We are providing clean water systems. We are providing solar panels. We're bringing in computers. We're doing simple things like fencing around schools so that that the pigs and the chickens don't run through the classroom during the middle of the day. I mean, some of that stuff sounds kind of crazy, but it's when you're trying to make generational improvements to your community, you've got to start in the schools, and that's our belief. The ability to provide kids a good, solid education, teach them English language skills, because not that we think as North Americans that English is the only language to speak, but we face the fact that many tourists, many retirees are going to choose Nicaragua as a destination, and kids who can go and apply for jobs with English language skills and be able to deal with tourists and retirees are going to have a better chance of getting a good paying job. So we're pouring all of that back into the community through the Hope and Development Foundation, and over the past few years we have continued to work diligently to develop our plans for a baseball academy to be tied in with our development that will eventually lead to more educational opportunities and athletic opportunities for some of the kids of Nicaragua as well. And we invite you to go to either one of our websites, Hope and Development Foundation.org or IBACA.org, IBACA.org, to get more information on both of these groups. You probably heard me perk up when I started talking about that. I mean, we want to develop a great community, and we want to provide great lives for people down here, but our real passion is pouring it back into the community, and that's where my wife and I both get really excited.
Well, it's not just enough to talk the talk. You have to walk the walk, and that's one thing that has always impressed me about you all. And it's genuine, it's real, and it's happening. It's not just words. It's not just a dream. It's not just a vision. It's reality, and it's something that's very sincere and a thorough commitment, and
it's not where we want it to be yet, but we're passionate about getting it there.
Well, that's really, really cool stuff, and I appreciate your sharing. But as I go through a couple of these images, this will basically show you some of the homes and properties that are actually on the property. and they're pretty cool. And this is the first condo building that was constructed. We did not build it. It is the Las Perlas condos. But TKG, the corporate entity, now manages this building, correct?
That's correct, and I would invite people to come, if you take the opportunity to come down and visit with us. More than likely you'll be staying here at this condo hotel, and the picture does not do it justice. This picture was taken just after it was built a few years ago, and it's lush and absolutely it's breathtakingly beautiful at this point. Not that it's not pretty in this picture, but come down and see it as it looks today, and I think you will be absolutely stunned.
And we're going to talk about in just a little while a very cool way of doing that. But you mentioned Milagro Verde. I don't want to take undue amounts of time, and just for the benefit of those who have not been on one of our info sessions before, you will receive a recording and a replay link of tonight's info session, so you can go back and look and spend as much time as you'd like on any of these particular slides or otherwise. This is a very simplistic but nonetheless plan of the eco-friendly community Milagro Verde, a total of 14 home sites, and a number of which are available. We'll get to that in a moment. And then we have in this area the number 14, 8 in the upper left, of course, is where Milagro Verde is, and then we have a number of home sites available in San Diego Viejo, which is the number 14 here. And again, we'll talk more about that. In the lower right, 26 and 19, that is for those who were paying attention, those are where the Las Perlas condos are, and the restaurant, and La Vida Nica, the on-site concierge. Number 11 is the condo hotel that is where Milagro del Mar, excuse me, was essentially born. Now, in that main Milagro del Mar Ocean Village condominium building, which is going to be the main building in the condo hotel, there are essentially going to be 42 2 and 3 bedroom condominiums, and we have here floor plans. I don't expect you to, for those of you on the call, to spend undue amounts of time trying to read floor plans from a webinar, but by all means, you'll be able to see that you can follow up and get a feel for space. What I think is really cool here is they are so generously proportioned. The La Marea, the 2-bedroom, 2-bath, is 1,466 square feet, total square feet. That's pretty big for a 2-bed, 2-bath condominium. And the La Brisa Grande is 3 bedrooms, 2.5 baths, 2,553 square feet. That's bigger than a lot of people's primary residences. And again, many of these will have direct ocean views over the multi-tier resort pool at the core, at the heart of Milagro del Mar, the condo hotel, surrounded by the beautiful villas. And it is going to be a 5-story building. Configuration is the same, essentially, for the 3rd, 4th, and 5th floors, the penthouse. The 2nd floor is a little different because of a soaring 2-story lobby entrance area in the middle. And then, of course, the 1st floor, which will, in addition to featuring a small number, 4 units in total, it will also, of course, have the lobby for the hotel and some commercial and public spaces, offices and kitchens and so on, restaurants, and very, very cool stuff. Roger, do we have anything to offer in terms of condominiums?
We do. We still have. I'm not going to quickly count those. I believe we still have 19 available, Phil, and
Sorry, we're down to 16.
I'm sorry. I didn't. I told you I didn't count on there. 16. We have 16 left available, and we're really excited about this the condo hotel product that we've landed on here, and I guess we're just we're pleased to be taking this project to the next level at this point, and hope that you guys on the call tonight will take some interest and ask more questions and see if we can get you down here to look at them.
Well, something that is very exciting, but it's going to appear and feel and sound more carrot dangling than anything, but nonetheless, we can't announce yet who it is, but in a matter of weeks, we'll be announcing something very exciting, won't we, Roger?
That's correct. You kind of surprised me there for a little bit, but yes, we've talked about this new condo hotel aspect, or the way this project originally started as a condominium building and has grown to a condo hotel concept. And you saw that by the numbers that Phil presented earlier, hotel rooms are needed here pretty desperately going forward, especially on the beaches. And so we're going to be real excited to finally be able to publicly announce here. I think it's going to be about October 12th that we have partnered with a very significant international hotel brand to actually manage this project for us when it's completed. So stay tuned for that. It's coming, and we're very excited about it.
That is exciting stuff. We're very anxious to share the news, which will be in pretty short order, but it is very exciting stuff, and we'll come back and talk a little bit more. But something that I want to suggest to every person on the call: if you do the math, and don't grab your calculator right now, you'll have an opportunity to download a property packet later. We'll tell you how. The price per square foot is absolutely astounding, especially when you consider that these are oceanfront properties built to North American grade standards with granite countertops, tile throughout, high-end appliances, and views that are absolutely world-class. It's really, really exciting stuff. So, like I said, we'll come back to that, and you'll be able to download a property packet and grab a calculator. But if you could get anything for 3 times this price, same size on the coast of Southern California or something similar, I defy you to find it. I don't even think it's available at 3 or 4 times the price. The value here in Nicaragua is absolutely astounding. And again, we're talking about this center building here that you see there. That's the main building. And that's where the condominiums are that you just saw. 42 in total, and 26 have already been sold. Now, home sites, real quick. This is a little trickier. You're going to need more time to study this. I think the important issue here, and what makes home sites an exciting subject to consider, is the incredibly low and reasonable build cost in Nicaragua. Roger, you're a builder. I mean, you've been doing this for 20 plus years. What is it going to cost folks in Nicaragua versus what they're going to have to spend up north to build a home?
Well, and that can vary in so many ways, Phil. I mean, that's always the answer I gave folks in North America, and it's the same answer I give folks here. But if you're looking, if someone had already purchased one of these lots and they came to me and they said, Roger, what's it going to take to add a house to the lot that I already own? I would tell them in most circumstances somewhere between 90, 110, maybe even up to $120 a square foot, somewhere in that range, depending upon what they want in the house and quite honestly how the house is configured. But I think in most circumstances it's safe to say 90 to $110 a square foot will get you something very nice to North American standards. Add your lot on, and you have a great home package.
Yeah. Well, I know in the condos that the estimated homeowners association for a 2-bedroom, it's going to run about $300 a month, and for a 3-bedroom, $360. Is there some kind of just basic approximate formula for the home sites here, Roger, or no?
There is, and that's another one of the beauties of joining a community that's already established is there is already an established property owners association that we work with on a daily basis to manage and maintain the property. There is a formula based on the square meters of a lot that tells you what the yearly property owners association fees are, but at this point in time, even on the largest lots, it maxes out at $2,500 per year. So it's
so
sort of
pretty reasonable. You're talking a little over $200 a month, basically.
In the worst case scenario, there, yes.
And the cool thing is, if you choose when you buy, well, you can also do it for your home, but if you custom build, but for your condominium, you can take part, it's optional, it's not mandatory, in a rental program and have it be managed by our on-site concierge, Livia Danica. It's a very reasonable 70-30 rental split with the owner getting 70%. Owner usage is allowed, and monies can be electronically deposited to your account, which, again, is pretty cool stuff.
And Phil, the one thing I would add on that page is all of that is absolutely correct. You spoke a few minutes ago about the potential of an international hotel partner for the Milagro Del Mar Ocean Village only, and if and when that is announced, then for the Ocean Village only, the international hotel partner would become the manager and the concierge service just for that area. But La Vida Nica will still manage the homes and the Las Perlas condos that are already there on the property. So I don't want to confuse everyone. I just want to make sure that we're being very, very clear with everyone that what is presented on this screen right here will potentially change for the Milagro Ocean Village condos only.
Yep, absolutely. And I want to kind of pick up the pace a little bit here, not so much because I don't consider this important information, but rather I think this is a lot of stuff that needs to sink in and will over the next, day or two or three. And I'm anxious to make sure that we respect everyone's time. We told them we'd be an hour or a few minutes longer, and then questions, but I just want to make sure that we're respectful of everybody's time who was, of course, here on time in the first place. We've estimated nightly rates. There is these may, to some people's estimations, seem high, but in point of fact, when you consider a global hospitality partner taking advantage of their worldwide reservation system, as well as coupling that with the understood shortage of hotel rooms, both in terms of the average expected occupancy and as well as the nightly rates, we consider them very, very reasonable, even bordering on the conservative. And again, I might suggest that you've got to consider that the 2 bedrooms are 1,466 square feet. The 3 bedrooms, 2,553 square feet. But that will deliver, if you take a typical 2-bedroom, 2-bath condo, and we do have some at 269.9, work through everything from your closing costs, your property taxes, your monthly HOA, homeowners association, your share of as an owner of the expense, which is guesstimated at about 10% of the gross rents. Bottom line, it's going to deliver a 9.1% return, and that's in years 1 through 3 when we've only projected a 48% average occupancy. However, when you go up to what we consider the stabilization rate of 65% occupancy in year 4 and onward, and trust me, there are a lot of people that believe this is the reality they're going to face from day one, that cash-on-cash return, if you're looking at it from an investment perspective, goes up to 13.1% annually. It's pretty remarkable stuff. Now, what happens if anything we've talked about piques anyone's interest? And, ideally, we'd love if anyone is interested, because we do only have a limited number of units available, to have them reserve at least tonight. But essentially, we're going to extend these special bonuses through 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern Time on Friday, the 21st. So please bear that in mind. But Roger, let's talk about the first bonus for reserving tonight.
Well, essentially what we're offering there is just for being on this call and showing your interest, getting involved with us, making a reservation to potentially come down, see the product for yourself. There is a 10% discount on anything that you would choose tonight, whether it be a home site or a condominium residence. And I believe, Phil, does that also apply to Milagro Verde, the eco-friendly area as well?
In fact, it applies to any home site, any condominium, and again, full and complete listing of both can be found in the property packet, which I will show you how to get at that momentarily. But it's a pretty remarkable opportunity. I mean, in everyday life you hear about 10% off this, 10% off that. Well, how often do you hear 10% off on real estate? This is no joke. I mean, this is real money we're talking about. And on top of it, you have your first choice of either condominium residences and or home sites. It's pretty special stuff. This is just a sampling of what that does to some of the prices. If you look at, like M207, which is 269.9, all of a sudden that becomes bang, 242.9, just because you happen to be on the call. Pretty cool stuff. And, here's what happens to home sites. You take, any of these sample home sites, $70,000 home site all of a sudden becomes $63,000. Well, one of the Milagro Verde home sites starts at 55,000, becomes 49. And also too, is in the Milagro Verde, our partner who champions Milagro Verde, Patrick Hebert, has gone so far as to say that there's an added bonus if you buy a home site in Milagro Verde, that if you build within 1 year, you're going to receive a bonus passive solar water heater, professionally installed, in your residence, which is a kind of a nice little added benefit. Now, second bonus, Roger.
The golf club. We have as we talked about a few minutes ago, we have operating 9 holes right now and we plan to have the second 9 of that to complete 18 holes open in 2 years. And The retail value of a membership to that club of is $12,500, and that would be included with the purchase of a condominium or a home site.
That's pretty cool stuff, and that has real value. Third bonus. This is, I think, one of my favorites, to be honest with you, because so often in real estate development, you're asking people to take a pretty big leap of faith. You know, a lot of times when it's pre-construction, pre-development, people very rightfully say, hey, I'm going to give you my money. What's my, number one, what's my guarantee that you're even going to start construction, much less finish it? Number two, how long do I have to wait with my money hanging out there before I can get some benefit from that investment? Well, as to the first point, we're already under construction. So check that box off. As to the second, as we are developing the property, and as we manage the Las Perlas condominiums, we are covering the cost for any buyers who buy either a condominium in the condo hotel or who buy a home site and start construction of their residence within 12 months. They will receive 10 complimentary nights stay per 12 months in the condominiums until their condo is delivered. And with respect to the home site purchase, they'll receive the 10 nights, as long as they launch construction of their residence within 12 months. Okay? Now, the condominiums are expected, if I'm not mistaken, Roger, to be completed by the end of 2013.
Correct, yes.
And the hotel is slated to open perhaps first quarter of 2014. And
that is correct.
The next 9 holes, because the first 9 are, of course, constructed and playable, but the next 9, making for the first, the front 18, if you will, and there's another 9 beyond that, are anticipated for about the same time as the hotel opens. Am I correct?
Just clarification there, just to be sure. We have agreed with the hotel company to make the hotel project a 2-phase project, so we are targeting the opening of the second 9 with the completion of phase 2, which at this point in time we believe will be around the end of 2014. Phase 1, 2013, phase 2, 2014, and the second 9 opening at that time as well. That is the goal.
Perfect. I think, though, the bottom line and why I love this bonus so much is that, it's buying a dream for tomorrow, but getting to enjoy it, the reality today. It's pretty cool stuff. And this is a daytime shot, although, years ago when first constructed, you can see the landscaping is a bit bare, but the Las Perlas condos, they are very comfortable, very, very well situated, and I know that all of you who do come down to visit and end up staying here are going to be very, very comfortable. Now, final bonus. This is a pretty cool thing because, I'm a big fan of saying you can't say no until you know what it's all about. So why not come on down and see how great Nicaragua is and how you enjoy Milagro del Mar and get to enjoy, whether it be from a recreational, situational, or other spot, and reserve your property, but come down and confirm your decision or not. But if you do, you're going to receive a $1,500 travel credit against your airfare, or if you participate in one of our destination tours, there's a nominal cost involved that covers your spot there, and you're going to see that back. It's pretty cool stuff. And lastly, our next Destination Nicaragua tour, you're invited. It's October 24th to 28th. These are pretty remarkable destination tours. I've got to say that this is not a fly-by-night type of, low-end experience. Frankly, there are many who consider them the envy of Nicaragua. And it's VIP from start to finish. Typically, the pricing is $7.99 per person for a single, $6.99 per person double occupancy. However, we're offering this at a $200 per person discount, and it includes your hotel, your transportation, all your meals and beverages while in Nicaragua, all sorts of activities. Your airfare is not included. That is for you. But everything from VIP welcome and arrival at the airport to all of your transport, your recreation. There's loads of things to do. Thursdays and Fridays are all about relaxation, enjoyment, seeing the property, playing golf, taking going horseback riding, maybe take a surf lesson, have a massage on the beach, or go bird watching. Sunset cocktails and a native folk group dancing in the evening. And, Friday, more of the same, except we even add in a really interesting, but we keep it brief, information session where we do feature a lot of experts, not only on life in Nicaragua, but the whole buying process, the legalities, title insurance, and all of the issues that we feel, are essential for somebody to make an intelligent decision. But then the afternoon, of course, is devoted to more fun, relaxation, recreation. And then we polish off Friday evening with a really cool fireworks display over the beach after dinner. Saturday is a fun day, too, because after breakfast, we're going to depart from the property and essentially go on a let's visit the high points of Nicaragua. So when you go home, if you've never been here before, you can actually say with some authority, hey, I've seen a really good slice of Nicaragua here, including the Messiah Volcano, the Messiah Market. You're going to look over a crater lake, Laguna de Pollo, from this beautiful little town, Catarina, have lunch in the colonial city of Granada, take a boat ride to see the isletas, the small islands on Lake Nicaragua, which is Central America's largest lake. And then we're going to finish the evening, finish the day back at the Hilton Princess Hotel in Managua for a nice reception, buffet dinner, and then after dinner reception. And I think if nothing else, when you go home, you're already going to be plotting your return. We'll be sorry to see you go, but I haven't found anybody yet that hasn't already been trying to think, okay, now how can I get back here and when? So again, the rates are very special. Jot down if you want, or you can find it simply by going to our website, milagrodelmar.com, about our Destination Nicaragua tours. Again, the dates of the next one are October 24th to 28th, and we would love to have you join us, even if it's just to experience Nicaragua, see the property, and not as a due diligence visit because you're actually thinking about joining our family of owners. But it's very special stuff. So I kept talking about the property packet. This is pretty straightforward stuff. If you go to info.milagrodelmar.com/property packet, and I'll leave this up here for a moment, That will, you just fill in your name and your email, and that'll send you to a page where you can download the PDFs. There are 2 PDFs there that you're welcome to download both. One is the property packet. It has everything from floor plans, master plans, pricing, availability, and so on. Everything we talked about this evening, as well as a reservation form if anything catches your eye. Here's the reality, folks. We don't have that many condominiums that remain available. And the ones that we do have, just try and imagine how long we're going to have them once our global hospitality partner is announced. Because there's also demand within Nicaragua, North America, Europe, Asia. So don't delay. We don't, anybody that knows us knows we do not twist arms. We do not run timeshare sales operations. We don't need to. Why? Because if you come and see Nicaragua, see the property, you're going to know whether it's right for you or not. It's not going to enhance anything if we try to twist your arm. We would rather have people that decide all on their own that they want to join the community. And we'll do what we can to assist you in that quest. If you have any questions, you're welcome to shoot us an email at info@milagrodelmar.com. And that is our website right there, www.milagrodelmar.com. And with that, again, I'm going to leave this up on the screen, and I'm going to turn to some of the questions. If anyone needs to jump off, I understand, but we are going to zip through as many of these questions as we can. So let me just hang on just a sec here. Let me okay. I had a few questions here. Security. Roger, can you talk about security a little bit? I'm not sure if the question is with respect to the country or the property, but maybe you can...
I'll try to hit both of those really quickly. I mean, as you mentioned in the presentation, we are considered in Nicaragua statistically to be the second safest country in all of the Western Hemisphere. I mean, the statistics don't lie on that fact. I feel very safe here. I feel very safe with my family here. As you mentioned, my daughter is now, she'll be 16 here in a couple of months, and she's still in high school here in Managua. And I spend, most weeks I spend 2, 3, sometimes 4 nights a week at the resort itself. My wife, daughter stay here in Managua. I stay at the resort and never think twice about it. Just like anywhere in the world, we take normal precautions with our lives, but I feel safer here than I felt walking through the streets of Atlanta at night. So very, very safe and secure from that standpoint. As far as the resort goes, yes, we have a full-time 24-hour security staff on the resort that includes just monitoring the property at night. We have a few guards walking the streets. It's all there for the safety and protection of our community and the people who become part of our community.
Excellent. And there's a question about roads. I don't want to take a lot of time here. Again, we're leaning on 7:15 Pacific, 10:15 in the east. But the roads, the question is basically how are the roads going to the airport, modern or potholes? The roads, I'll let you comment, Roger, but, a sentence or two if you would. The roads are fantastic.
Well, we get everything. We get just about the whole gamut there. You said paved, modern, potholes. I'm going to lay it out like it is. From the airport to our resort, we have paved roads the entire way except for, at this moment, the last 11 kilometers, which is approximately 5 miles. Those roads are, some of them are concrete paver, which are very nice roads to drive on. A big chunk of the road between the airport and the resort is very nicely paved. Probably there's about a 10-kilometer section right now, and I'm shooting straight with everybody. There's about probably a 10 or 15-kilometer section at the moment that has does not have potholes, but it has areas that have been filled with asphalt that once were potholes, but they are continuing the paving of that road little by little until it is completely paved all the way to the concrete paver road. So we have, especially by Central American standard, folks, very, very good roads from the airport all the way to the resort. The last 5.5 miles, 11 kilometers, are a highly improved dirt and gravel road at this moment in time, but it is our anticipation right now that by the end of 2013 we will have that last 5.5 miles paved. So Excellent. It would be Excellent. At that point, and it would be that point door to door.
Another question, we spoke earlier about construction of custom homes, excuse me. The question is, do you have active contractors to build homes?
Yes, we do. Our company, with our experience, we contract for homes ourselves, but we don't make a monopoly. We have 2, 3, 4 other approved contractors, and anybody who buys a lot is welcome to speak with any of the contractors that we have available. And then in the Milagro Verde area, the green, eco-friendly area, which to date has been our most popular area, because of the specialties and the understanding of that product that is necessary, they do contract their own homes within the eco-friendly area.
Excellent. And again, I think this is referring to the build cost. The last question was about the cost, and I assume, because we did touch on that, if that's what the question pertained to, you're looking for the most part in around $90 to $100 per square foot. It obviously can go more. It sometimes can be less, but that's approximately what you're talking about. And other than that, if the question refers to how much do the home sites cost, how much do the condominiums cost, I would respectfully suggest, as you see on the screen right there, to go to info.milagrodelmar.com/property packet and download the property packet as well as a reservation form. Costs nothing to submit a reservation. We do ask that you place within 7 days a fully refundable $5,000 earnest money or good faith deposit, and look to schedule a due diligence visit, which could very well be the October 24th to 28th destination tour, to decide whether you want to join our community. But if there are any questions, as we said, at the end of the day, all you have to do is shoot us an email at info@milagrodelmar.com. Roger, I can't thank you enough for your time. And anyone that has any follow-on questions, please, by all means, email them to us. And I thank you, all of you, for your attention and your time, and hope to welcome you in Nicaragua very, very soon. Roger, thank you.
Thank you, Phil, and as you said, everyone who's on the call tonight, thank you for being with us, and truly we hope to meet you in person very soon. So come down and see us.
Excellent. Thanks very much, everybody.